Shalom Aleichem. This week Parashat Ki Tavo, והיה כי תבוא אל הארץ, and so on and so forth, ולקחת מראשית כל פרי האדמה. The parasha is pointing us a very unique and beautiful mitzvah. When Am Yisrael, after traveling in the desert 40 years, finally they're arriving to the Holy Land, and each one has a piece of land, and he is a farmer. Farmer used to be the source of living in the oldest time. You could be a farmer or a shepherd, basically. So every person has a piece of land. Yeshua bin Nun divided the land, and every family got a piece of land. And a farmer is plowing the ground, he's putting the seeds, he's watering. He does a lot of work, and he expects the rain to come. He has to water it. He has to protect his trees against insects, and so on and so forth. After such a long time, he's waiting for something to grow, to see fruits for his big effort, and to be able to take and enjoy the benefit of the fruits to provide to his family all their needs. That's his job, that's what he's doing. So imagine, after such a long time, tiny fruits start to grow on the tree. He take a piece of rope and he marking it, and then another fruit and another fruit. And after some time, he take a huge basket, he decorating the basket, put the first fruits that you could enjoy, and he bring it to בית המקדש. ושמחת לפני השם אלוקיך, ראשית ביקורי אדמתך תביא בית השם אלוקיך. The first fruit you have to dedicate to בית המקדש. We all know the ego and the personality, the nature of human. It doesn't matter if it's fruits or business or store or manufacturing, anything he does, he wants to enjoy so much and to prove himself that he is talented, that he is knowledgeable, that he is wise, and so on and so forth, by enjoying the first produce of his effort. But here the Torah is educating the person, is telling him, wait a second, leave your personality aside. Leave all your achievement aside, your talent, your power, your wisdom. First of all, you have to show your gratitude to the Almighty to bring this to Beit HaMikdash. This is a great deal of the Torah Kedosha, of our Holy Torah, to educate us that no matter how much we are talented, no matter how much effort we did, the one who blesses our action, the one who really controls creation, including us, is the Almighty. And this beautiful mitzvah bringing a lot of happiness to a person who accomplishes. Why? Because he's showing his faith, his relationship, his connection to the Almighty, and that's the source of a lot of happiness. So the very beginning, Rashit is the beginning. It's very interesting. In our life there are many cycles, and every cycle has a beginning. The year has a beginning. Rosh Hashanah is beginning of the year. The month has a beginning. The Rosh Chodesh is the first of the months. Also, every single day has a beginning. You wake up in the morning, you're starting a new day. Baal Shem Tov HaKadosh is saying it's extremely important to start your days with something positive on three levels. First level is the thinking, and then the talking, and then the doing. So you have to think something positive when you wake up in the morning. You have to say first thing positive, and you have to act and do something positive that will really help you to continue the rest of the day in a blessing and positive actions. So here we see at the Shulchan Aruch, מיד שנאור משנתו, right away when you wake up in the morning you have to say, מודה אני לפניך בורא עולם שהפכת בי נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך. Thank you, Hashem, for giving me another morning, another day. You gave my neshama back. Now I have a life, and I'm very grateful to you, Borei Olam, that you give me another day. And then so you think about it, and then you speak it, and then you do something. You wash your hand at Netilat Yadayim, and so on and so forth. You do good things. It will help you to continue the day with a blessing and positive doing, like everything else that you do in life. Also good advice, personally I think, when you buy a new car, or you enter to a new house, or anything new that you do in the very first step, very beginning of enjoying it, do a mitzvah with it. Do a mitzvah. There are many options how to do with every single thing accordingly. Ramban is saying in end of Parashat Bo that actually the purpose of the entire mitzvot and Torah to make us believe in Hashem and connect to Hashem and show our gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And many other sources in Chazal also, Aaron Kontler is pointing it out. Hoda'ah, Akarat HaTova, showing your gratitude, is the purpose of creation. And the Ramban saying, actually, to define in the Hebrew language is very clear that Hoda'ah has two aspects actually. First of all, Lodot al ha'emet, to admit the truth. Second, to show your gratitude, L'akir Tova v'Toda. So when you say Toda, when you say thank you, you have these two elements. First of all, you admit the truth. The personality of every person sometimes is not comfortable by receiving good from someone else. Why? Because when you're receiving a favor from your friend, you're showing you have to be a little bit humble, because it shows that you're not perfect. And no one is perfect. So you need the help of your friend. Some people are avoiding, unfortunately, receiving help from friends just to avoid the situation where they have to say thank you. But actually, it's good to say thank you, as we said before, because you're admitting the truth and you show your gratitude. If your friend so, obviously Kal Vachomer with Borei Olam, with the Almighty, we have to admit He created the world, He created us, and you have to say thank you and to show our gratitude of all the blessing that He's providing to us since He created us. Bezrat Hashem Omer, Nefesh HaChaim, in chapter 3, paragraph 12, says something unbelievable. That Bezrat Hashem, as we explained so far, by the way of thank you, of showing your gratitude to Hashem, you get close to Hashem, and you really educate yourself to believe and feel, not only believe in word. Everyone say Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Hashem, Yirtzeh Hashem, God willing, please God, with God help, and so on and so forth. Is one thing to say, which is beautiful. But second level is to feel it. Omer Nefesh HaChaim, if you could really feel it, if you could really install in your mind the understanding, the awareness and the feeling that nothing else exists in the whole world but HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you are removing from yourself every judgmental force, every negativity, and receiving only mercy and blessing of Hashem. And as we're getting close to Rosh Hashanah, we all wish to have this kind of blessing, and we all know that actually the essence of Rosh Hashanah is to accept the kingdom of the Almighty, His royalty, and to accept it, to accept Yirat Shamayim, and to have a God fear and God love within our feeling, and to accept His royalty on entire creation. How are you doing that? There's no way to do it unless you remove your personal needs for a second, you move them aside and focus on the Almighty, what He giving you and what you owe Him. And that's the only way and the best way to approach Rosh Hashanah, and the best time to start is right now, to educate ourselves every single day, to say thank you to Hashem and to appreciate what Hashem is giving us. And that will be a source of happiness, because when you say thank you, you show that you have a faith, and you have a faith in Borei Olam that bring you to happiness, because Or Zaru al Tzaddik Lo Yishrev Simcha, the light is shining on the righteous who are happy to be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And actually, if you think about our life, the Navi says, Mi kdimani v'ashalem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu always giving something before He asks you. If He asks you to put mezuzah on the doorpost, He has to give you a house first. If He asks you, B'yom hashemini imol besar orlato, you have to circumcise your son, on the 8th day He has to give you a son. If He asks you to bring bikurim or ma'asrot, He has to give you a field and the trees and a fruit. Otherwise, how can He ask you? If He asks you to give myself from your money, He has to give you some profit first, and then you give donations, and so on and so forth. If you think about it, Almighty is giving us so much. And only then, after He is providing so much, He's asking us something symbolically, just that we show our appreciation, and by that, we take the wonderful opportunity to get close to Borei Olam. ולכן אומרים חז"ל, בשביל ביקורים נברא העולם. The whole world was created for the mitzvah of ביקורים. And it also says, בעלי אומנויות, people who are busy doing the job and showing their loyalty to the job, can stand up and bless the people who bring the bikurim to Bet HaMikdash. Why? Because this is high priority, high level of a mitzvah to educate us how much we owe to Borei Olam. And this is a source of happiness. And if you look further in the parasha, we see also the rebuking, Parashat HaTochacha. The parasha is some things which is hard to listen, which is really rebuking us. And the reason is the parasha says, you know something? You know what's the reason? כי לא עבדת את השם אלוקיך בשמחה ובטוב לבב. The reason why Hashem rebuking you and criticizing you, because you serve a God, you have mitzvot, and you have Torah, but unfortunately without happiness. When it's not involved with a deep faith, deep trust in Hashem, there's no happiness. And another source of happiness, there is a secret here. The mitzvat bikurim is only in Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael is a source of emunah, of faith, trust in Hashem, and happiness. So when you come to Eretz Yisrael, whether if you permanently live in Eretz Yisrael, whether if you are lucky to visit Eretz Yisrael, you have to do it with happiness and speak only positive about the land of Israel. The Pasuk says in the Navi, Rabbi Natan brings in Likutei Halachot, Ilchot Betziat Apat, Perek Dalet Otet Vav, based on the Pasuk, ובאו ציון ברינה, ושמחת עולם על ראשם, Pasuk from Yeshaya, chapter 35, verse 10. ושמחת עולם על ראשם, when you come to the Holy Land, you have to be happy. The Holy Land is the only place where you can actually practice the mitzvah of bikurim and many other mitzvot. וגם אומר שבעזרת השם בשמחה תצאו, שלום תובלון. What's the way? What's the channel? Where is the door that can take us? Where is the way to get us out of the exile? Is by happiness. כי בשמחה תצאו. This galut is showing us so many tragedies, side of life. But our mission as a Jewish, as a believer people, to shine the light on each dark spot and to say actually it's not dark. We don't see the light. Hashem will shine the light, b'mera b'yamenu, and will show us that all what Hashem did since the beginning of creation until now was all good. The plan of Almighty is not only good, it's a perfect. We don't yet have the eyes to see. We don't have the mind to understand. But we have to open the mouth, say thank you Hashem. To realize and appreciate every single thing, and when you realize that Hashem actually owes you nothing. From that standpoint, everything you receive is a blessing and a reason to say thank you, to admit that He is the Creator and He is the Provider, and we're here to serve Him. שנזכה לעשות נחת רוח ליוצרנו, and have a blessed year and blessed week. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.